Review packet. I'm going to be doing problems 26 through however many I can do in about 10 minutes. So starting with 26. The price of a 1-pound sirloin steak increases from $28 to $35. Find the percentage increase in price. Remember, percent increase or percent change is what we're really looking for. It's just the change in price divided by the original. So I'm going to be doing 35 minus 28, which is 7. I want to divide by what it started as. Well, it started at $28 and then it was increased to 35. So I want to do 7 divided by 28. And when I do that, when I divide, I get 0.25 and times 100 returns that to a percent, or move the decimal place twice, and that's 25%. Right, let's move on to 27. For 27, Gina had 3 kilograms of flour. She used 750 grams of flour to bake some cookies. What percentage of the flour did she use? You have to be really careful with this problem and look closely at the units. She used 750 grams. Okay, but she has 3 kilograms. Kilograms means 1,000. So she has actually 3,000 kilograms. So be careful there. Again, when I divide, I get 0.25. And what I'm doing is, on the calculator, I'm just doing 750 divided by 3,000. I'm doing that real quick on the calculator. So I get 0.25 and move it over twice. Again, my answer is 25%. So she had 25% is what she used of the flour. All right, let's do 28. 28. 1,200 people visited a museum. 240 of the visitors were children. What percentage of the visitors were children? So we want to look at the part over the whole. 240 over 1,200. Okay. So when I do that division, all I'm doing is 240 divided by 1,200. And when I do that, I end up with 0.2. Change that to a percent by moving the decimal twice, and that's 20%. So 20% of the visitors were children that day. I need to be circling my answers for all these problems. All right, 29. Carrie has 300 marbles. 25% of the marbles are green, 15% of the marbles are red, and the rest of the marbles are blue. How many marbles does he have? How many blue marbles does he have? Excuse me. All right, so for this problem, we can deduce that 25 and 15, 25% and 15% plus those two, okay, that's 40% of the bag. So 40% of the bag is going to be red marbles and green marbles. Red and green. That means the other 60% of the bag must be blue marbles, which is what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so if we want 60% of the 300 marbles, 60% of the bag. Well, in the bag, there's 300, so of, or multiply, 300 marbles is what we're doing. 0.6 times 300. If you remember your 10% rule, this should be very easy. So 10% of 300 would be 30, but we want 6 times that much. So that's 180 marbles. You could always alternatively just do 0.6 on the calculator times 300, and you'll still get 180. All right, number 30. Okay, number 30. Gary had $230. He spent 45% of the money on a wallet. How much money did he have left? Well, first we need to figure out how much he actually spent, and then we'll subtract it off of the $230. So where are we at here? So first, well, actually, we could do it a different way. We could say that 100% of the money would be the $230. So if he spent 45% of it on a wallet, well, let's see, 100%. I don't know why my computer is acting very funny right now. 100% minus the 45% that he spent, let's see, 55%. So he should have 55% of his money left. So we want to find 55% of the $230. I like this way a little bit better. It gives us the direct answer. So 55% of $230, and you can do, of course, do this on your calculator, would be $126.50. So that's how much money he has left. All right, do number 31. All right, for 31, in a class of 40 students, 35% of them walk to school. Half the number of the remaining students take the school bus. How many students take the school bus? So 35% of the students walk to school out of a class of 40 students. So what we can do is 100% minus 35. Well, that's going to be 65% of the students then in the class must take the bus. So let's figure that out first. We want to do 65% of 40. What I'm getting is 26. So that means 26 students take the bus. Okay. Now it says half the number of the remaining students take the school bus. Or I'm sorry, I should have said 26 students have an alternative method of transportation. They don't all take the bus. Because the problem says half the number of students that are remaining in the class. This is the number of students that are remaining in the class that basically don't walk to school. The other kids walk to school. Okay. So 35% of the kids walk to school. The rest of the kids, the 65% of them, they do something else. So half of this amount of kids ride the bus. Well, 26, we're going to divide it by 2 since it's half of those kids, and that's going to be 13 kids. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and clear some space so we can do the rest of these. All right, that's good enough. All right, let's switch to orange. All right, so number 32, I think we're on. Okay. 32, there are 600 guests at a party. 48% of them are male adults, and while 25% of the guests are children. How many female adults are there? All right, so we've got a lot to figure out here. So first off, what we want to figure out is, well, 100% of the guests, that'd be 600 people. Okay, but we don't want all of them. We want to take out, okay, let's take out the male adults because we're not including that. We just want to know female adults, and we don't want to know how many children there are, so let's subtract off how many children there are, 25%. Okay, well, what percent that leaves us? Okay, that leaves us with only 27%. Okay, so 27% of the people at the party, oops, I almost circled that as my answer. 27% of the people at the party must be female adults. So if there's 600 people there, then 27% of that, or 0.27 times 600, okay, would give us 162 female adults. Female adults. All right, 33. Okay, 33. The usual price of a shirt was 48 bucks. It was sold at a 20% discount. How much was the shirt sold for? Okay, so again, if it was sold for a 20% discount, that means that it was worth 80% of its price. So we do 100% minus 20%. Okay, so we only want 80% of, what was the original price of the shirt? $48. 80% of $48 is what we want. Oh, I was looking at the wrong problem. Excuse me. So 80% of $48, that'd be $38.40. $38.40. Alternatively, if you didn't want to solve it that way, just to point out, you could always do 20% of 48 and take whatever that is and subtract it off of $48, and you'll get the same answer. I'm going to do one more problem, 34 for this video. So 34, after a promotion, Mr. Franco's salary increased by 15%. If he earned $1,600 before, what's his new salary? Interesting. All right, so what happens here is before he was earning 100% of his salary, and then he's now getting an extra 15%. This is exciting. So it increased by 15%. So Before he was earning $1,600, but now he's earning 115% of what he got before. So we want to do 115% of 1,600. So basically 1.15 times 1,600. Do that math on your calculator, you end up with $1,840. Okay, and that's the amount of salary that he is now earning. All right, I'm going to call it quits for right there. So we did problems 26 through 34, and I'm going to make another video with remaining of the problems.